Drew Alba here with manager of the Walla Walla Sweets, Colby Watilo, for yet another edition of Countdown with Colby. Getting used to this.
That's right. I know. We're kind of getting in a rhythm here.
There we go. Sweets are also getting in a rhythm. Another win. You dropped 2 in Portland, but you look back before that. Sweets are well above 500 in their last 8 games or so. Remain undefeated at home. How does it feel out there?
It feels great. Yeah, we're playing good baseball. I was really proud of the guys yesterday. Tough task to ask them to hey, get in at 4 a.m. with no day off and show up ready to go. And it wasn't pretty. Yeah, we maybe had a chance to separate there in the middle innings, but found a way to put ourselves in a position to win another ball game, and then got the job done late. So I felt like we had the momentum most of the day yesterday, so it feels good to keep it rolling and keep playing good ball.
Yeah, I kind of felt like the Sweets, you were always in control, and then all of a sudden it was a tie ball game. You go to the bottom of the 10th, but looking at the top of the 10th, how proud of you or your pitching staff to kind of work through that when the momentum was going the other way?
Yeah, I think we've done a great job of putting our foot down, right?
Yeah.
There was not a moment where we kind of let things spiral on us yesterday.
Sure.
We had some, we asked a lot of Solomon, right, to come in to close things out at Portland, and then with the travel and whatnot, and then try to turn around and get a close yesterday. And he made one mistake. The guy put a good swing on it and put him in position to tie that game. And I think if they don't get that one hit, the ninth inning is different. But then we hand the ball over to Lucas Dixon. He does a great job giving us those 2 innings.
Yeah, how about it? Yeah.
Yeah, great appearance for him, especially in only his second appearance as a Sweet, right? And so comes in, commands the baseball, goes into attack mode, and puts it into the bottom half of the inning so we could go win a ball game.
Talk about getting a couple good swings on it. Billy Scaldaferri went absolutely berserk yesterday. The homer out towards left field, and then in extra innings got it done. His first walk-up of his career ever in baseball. Yes.
There we go.
So obviously he looked great out there. He moved over to third base, also can play left field. Where do you want him to be, or is he kind of a utility guy throughout the season?
He's a bit of a utility guy.
Okay.
He plays mostly infield in his time at Grand Canyon. So, as we continue to get guys in and kind of settle into some roles, I think we'll probably try to see the majority of his innings coming in the infield. But I think it's been great to see. We kind of threw him out in left field. He's done it before, but it's great to see him just kind of give us more depth of guys that we can move out. A lot of times in summer baseball and kind of what we're doing as a coaching staff is trying to find how can we get all of our bats in the lineup in the best combination and give guys the break they need. And so, it's great to see him with some versatility because, like you said, he's a bat that we need to have in the lineup regularly.
Yeah.
So
baseball's a hard game, obviously. Ebbs and flows for everybody. You look at a guy like Landon Young killing the baseball. You can look around the lineup. Tanner Kern, West Coast League Player of the Year, or the week rather, and then kind of struggled the last few games. What do you tell a guy like that to kind of, you can hit a baseball, right? Yeah. You're a good ball player. Just get back out there, keep doing what you're going to do.
Yeah, getting back to the basics. I think of doing what he was doing when things were going well early on. Not trying to press and trying to do too much, not trying to...
And he's still taking his walks and things like that.
Yeah, he's still finding ways on base. I mean, it's funny, right? You sit here and talk about a guy who's quote-unquote, struggling or not as hot, but he's still a guy hitting 350 in the West Coast League. And so we're excited. He'll be just fine. And, don't do too much. Get back to the basics. Don't overthink it. Don't feel like you have to try to solve all the issues in one plate appearance, right? It's one hit isn't going to do it. It's, hey, how can we be consistent? How can we have consistently good at-bats? And he'll be just fine. I'm not worried about him at all.
Oh, and then looking at today's ball game, Dawson Mooney out there on the hill, the lefty arm, kind of the southpaw of the group.
That's right.
How, obviously throwing a lefty out there kind of gives a little bit of a change up to the other team. Was that, in your thought process, or just want to get him out on the hill?
Yeah, that's part of it. I think we're trying to mix and, make Cowlitz, make the other teams make some decisions in their lineup to maybe have to put guys in so they're not playing the same guys every day to let them get in a rhythm. That's part of it, but Dawson also, coming straight out of high school, he's another one of our puppy dogs, right? So we run him out there. He's used to starting games. That's what he's done. And so we've used him out of the pen his first 2 appearances. And, it's not that he's never thrown out of the pen before, but his comfortable spot, as you look at the past of, his career, is as a starter. And so, as there's a guy to slot in to kind of fill a day for us to give us a start, he's a great candidate to do that because it's something that he's done for a long time and has done at a high level, right, going to Gonzaga next year. So excited for him. It'll be fun to see him in a starter role. We've only seen him as a reliever, so I'm expecting him to go out and compete. He's got electric stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. You
look at the, Trey Morse, yesterday, another one of those puppy dogs we've been talking about. Through 4 innings, didn't give up a base hit, then kind of struggled a little bit there. You think that's some immaturity thing, or just at some point the water's got to break through?
Yeah, I think they did a good job. They kind of, he wasn't quite getting ahead of guys as well as he was early on in the outing. And I will tell he had a great outing for us. A little scuffled at the end, but We talked about
superb, yeah.
We talked about guys making adjustments throughout the spring, and I thought he threw the breaking ball the best that we've ever seen it, like so far in his time with the Sweets this summer. And so that was huge, because I think it was even on yesterday's countdown. We were talking about the growth and what it means to not just rely on his plus fastball,
sure.
right? And all of a sudden execute the breaking ball so that he doesn't get hit around like he did against Ridgefield. And boom, we came out, he made an adjustment, he mixed, and like you said, no base hits there through 4. So
it was borderline unhittable there for a moment, right? How much credit do you give to Nikhil Beasley behind the plate? He picks up a base hit, a couple of off days in Portland. They come out a really good ball game yesterday.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, right? He's kind of still getting settled in, getting his feet wet with the Sweets. He's only been here, a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks max, and he's doing a great job. We have a great catching core to work with all of our pitchers, especially as we're running some young guys out there, right? We've got a guy like Beasley, we've got a guy with a lot of experience in Estabrook who we'll see tonight, right? And then we've got Zane Bidwell as well, who has some experience playing all around the field at the junior college level. So we'll see Estabrook back there tonight working with the young gun and Mooney. Estabrook was behind the plate when Mooney came in to throw at Portland, so
there you go.
It's not the first time that Estabrook has seen him. So I'm expecting, for there to be some learning experience from that first outing, and we'll see him take off today.
Military Appreciation Night here at Borleski Stadium, and it gives these sweet hats and some cool jerseys you'll see as well. First off, when you saw the new threads, what was going through your head?
I'm excited.
I like them.
I like them a lot. I saw them before the guys got here, and kind of in the off season, I was able to get a look at them. I think the hats are awesome. They kind of, I think, intentionally mimic what the 4th of July hats are for the new era this year.
Do you got to keep the hat?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, nice, because the jerseys go to auction, I think.
The jerseys go to auction, yeah. So make sure you guys, if you're at the ballpark tonight, check out the QR codes.
Yeah.
Get in the business for the auction for the jerseys.
Nice.
But I'm excited. It'll be fun. Military appreciation, just a great opportunity for us to honor the people that have served the country and give us just the ability to come out and play this game that we love so much tonight. So. It'll be a fun night. Manager and marketer, how about that? Would you look at that? All right, so that leads to the question of the day, the Colby question of the day. Okay. Best uniforms you've ever worn, best uniforms in the MLB, and then best overall uniform you've ever seen. Best uniform I've ever worn. Player or coach? At Whitman, we have the all powders, which are fun. The powder jersey, powder pants. Nice. Navy That's a nice color. Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. Okay. The Walla Walla, the youth baseball and softball here in town for what was the Legion program, but is now the club baseball. We are like a maroon and maroon and kind of gold trim. Okay. And so we had some good maroon. I remember high school Legion having the tank top with the maroon sleeves with the white jersey. That was always a good look. Clean. Yeah. Clean. What do you think of the SpongeBob SquarePants and all that stuff they do in the minor leagues? Those are crazy. Those are crazy, but those are fun. That's why some of the dog days, and even we're not that far into it, but getting to wear a different jersey tonight's kind of fun. Sure, makes it exciting. Best jersey in the major leagues. This is a controversial topic. I do like the Mariners City Connects. Oh, wow. There you go. Black and yellow. Nice. I do like that. I wore my City Connect sweatshirt this morning. What do you feel about the black pants, though? The black pants are interesting. That's where I draw the line, but I like the jersey. Yeah. I think it would look weird with something else. So I think the black matches the rest of the uniform. How about the creams? Yeah, the cream old Sundays, creams that the Mariners used to wear were good. Any of the St. Louis powder blues? Any of those? Those are good. Yeah. I'm not a cards guy, so I guess that's part of it. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of different ways you should go. Okay, so if you had to pick one jersey, that just that overall, you could, I would just give you a jersey to wear. You're tromping out for it. Okay, I will say this is kind of an odd, but I really like the old Mariners teal jersey. I love those are nice. Those are nice. Yeah. I like that color. I've got the Ken Griffey Jr. jersey. You can kind of go that home and away a little bit. Yeah, I mean, away's a little bit weirder, but I mean, you can't just pick gray. Right. No. Right. I mean, hey, there's good gray jerseys. Yeah, but if I told you one jersey, you picked a gray jersey. Yeah. I don't know. I have called myself a traditionalist on this segment before, but hey, a little bit out there though. Yeah, we'll go with a little flash. There you go. Teal, some Mariners City Connects, how about it? And new jerseys in today's ball game as the Sweets try to win their second straight ball game and stay undefeated at Borleski Ballpark. Once again, Countdown with Colby. Thanks so much. Thanks, Drew. Go Sweets.